Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. I've got some breaking news for you today that you're definitely going to want to hear. If you've been keeping an eye on your mailbox or checking your inbox lately, you might just be getting some very exciting news. That's right, we're talking about the latest stimulus checks coming your way, and this time, it could be up to a whopping $6,000. The White House has confirmed that these stimulus debit cards are hitting mailboxes right now, and you could be one of the lucky recipients. Now, I know that sounds unbelievable, but trust me, this is real. In today's video, I'm going to break down everything you need to know about these stimulus debit cards, who's eligible to get one, how they're going to work, and most importantly, how you can claim yours if you haven't already. So make sure you stick around until the end, because this is one of the most significant financial updates that could affect millions of Americans in the coming weeks. Let's dive right in. Okay, so you might be wondering, what exactly is this $6,000 stimulus debit card, and why haven't I heard about it before now? Great question, and I'm here to give you all the details. The stimulus debit cards are part of a new financial relief initiative rolled out by the federal government to provide additional assistance to Americans who have been impacted by various economic challenges. These debit cards are being sent out by the Treasury Department in coordination with the White House's efforts to stabilize the economy and support individuals who are struggling financially. Now, here's the catch: these debit cards are preloaded with a set amount of money, which in some cases can be as much as $6,000 per individual. Yes, you heard that correctly, $6,000. But before you start celebrating, it's important to understand that this isn't something everyone will be receiving. These cards are targeted towards certain groups based on income, financial need, and other eligibility criteria. Now, I know a lot of you might be wondering, am I eligible to receive this payment? Well, that depends on a number of factors. The government has outlined specific criteria for eligibility, and while many people will qualify, not everyone will be receiving the $6,000 stimulus debit card. First and foremost, the $6,000 debit cards are aimed at individuals who have been significantly impacted by economic hardships, whether that's through unemployment, income loss, or other financial challenges. The government has also placed a focus on low and middle income families, as well as people who might not have received previous relief payments or those who were left out of earlier stimulus programs. If you've recently experienced a job loss, have fallen behind on bills, or are struggling to make ends meet, you might be on the list to receive one of these cards. Additionally, if you've filed for unemployment benefits or have had your financial situation worsen due to COVID-19 related restrictions, your chances of receiving one of these cards are higher. Another important aspect to consider is whether or not the government has your most up-to-date address or banking information on file. If you received previous stimulus checks directly via direct deposit or through physical checks in the mail, your chances of receiving this $6,000 debit card are pretty good. But if you've moved recently or haven't updated your information with the IRS, you might want to make sure your address is up to date. This is key for ensuring you get your stimulus payment without delays. Okay, now let's talk about how exactly these $6,000 debit cards will be distributed. As of right now, the government is sending out these cards via regular mail, so it's crucial to keep an eye on your mailbox in the coming weeks. The debit cards will come in plain envelopes, so don't toss them out thinking it's just junk mail. Once you open the envelope, you'll find a pre-loaded debit card with instructions on how to activate it. It's a lot like getting a gift card or a prepaid debit card from a store, but the amount on this card could be up to $6,000, depending on your eligibility. You'll also receive instructions on how to use the card, check the balance, and access your funds. The cards can be used just like a regular debit card, so you can make purchases online or in person, pay bills, or even transfer funds to your bank account if needed. It's essentially a direct form of financial support that's designed to be as flexible as possible for you to use it however you see fit. So you might be wondering, why are they sending out debit cards instead of just writing checks or doing direct deposits like before? That's another great question, and here's what we know. The federal government is using these debit cards as a more efficient way of distributing financial assistance to those who need it most. One of the key reasons for this shift is to ensure that the stimulus payments are reaching people who might not have a bank account or aren't able to receive direct deposits. It's also a way to combat fraud and streamline the distribution process. Instead of relying on paper checks that might get lost in the mail or delayed for weeks, debit cards provide a more reliable method of delivering funds directly to the recipient. Plus, it gives the government more control over the process, ensuring that the stimulus payments are going to the people who truly need them. Another factor here is that the debit cards can be used immediately once activated. This is different from paper checks, which require you to go to a bank to deposit them before you can access the funds. With these debit cards, you'll be able to start using the funds right away, whether that's to cover your rent, buy groceries, or pay for other essential expenses. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. What if you don't receive the debit card? First of all, if you don't get it, don't panic. There could be a few reasons why you haven't received yours yet. Perhaps the government doesn't have your most current information, or maybe the cards are being distributed in stages. The good news is that there are ways to check on the status of your payment and, if necessary, update your information. You'll be able to visit a special government website where you can track the status of your stimulus debit card. They'll also have a help center where you can call or chat with a representative if you have any questions or need assistance. If it turns out you were eligible but didn't receive the card for whatever reason, they will work with you to make sure you get it as soon as possible. The key here is to stay informed. The government is putting a lot of effort into making sure these cards go out to as many people as possible, but there are always logistical hiccups that could delay things. If you haven't received yours yet, stay patient and make sure you're keeping an eye on your mailbox and inbox for further updates. Now that you've received your $6,000 stimulus debit card, how exactly can you use it? Well, there's no shortage of ways to put that money to good use, and the beauty of this debit card is that it's designed to be versatile. First off, you can use the card like any other debit card. Whether you're shopping in stores, ordering online, or even paying for services like utilities or car payments, this card will work just like a regular debit card linked to your bank account. And you're not limited to just online purchases or big retailers. Local businesses, small stores, and even gas stations will accept the card, which gives you a lot of freedom in how you choose to spend your funds. Additionally, if you prefer to have cash on hand, you can withdraw money from ATMs or transfer funds to your bank account. There may be some small fees associated with withdrawing cash from ATMs, but it's still a great option if you need immediate access to physical currency. The card also offers the option to check your balance online or through an app, so you'll always know how much is left on the card. This way, you can budget accordingly and avoid running out of funds when you need them the most. To wrap things up, this $6,000 stimulus debit card is a huge deal and could provide much-needed relief to millions of Americans. If you qualify, this is a great opportunity to get some financial assistance, and it's important to stay on top of things to make sure you receive your card. Remember, the government is sending out these cards in phases, and it might take some time before you receive yours. But if you've been affected by the economic downturn, this could be a game changer for your financial situation, especially if you're struggling to make ends meet. Make sure you keep an eye on your mailbox for the next few weeks, and if you haven't received your card yet, check the government website for updates and to make sure your address is correct. Most importantly, don't forget that these funds are meant to help you cover essential expenses like bills, groceries, and housing, so use them wisely. I'll be keeping an eye on any new updates regarding these stimulus cards, so be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any future news. And as always, feel free to leave your questions and thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you think about this stimulus program and how it's going to impact you. That's it for today's update. I'll see you in the next video, and take care, everyone.